Hey, everybody. Sherry Ferguson here with the Portland Chamber of Commerce. I am glad to be back. We are cutting down our number of videos, so we will not be having as many videos throughout the week. But we do want to keep bringing you information that you can use, as well as to keep you updated on things that are going on in our community. So today we have with us Amanda Dixon. Hi, Amanda.
Ah,
Amanda is with Volunteer State Bank, and they have been here for a long time. Tell us a little bit about the history and where Vol State Bank come from.
goodness gracious. Well, most everybody knows Mr. Larry Collins started this bank 1977. I feel like a lot of people have still been here since then. So, that's fun that we do have a lot of people that have been here a long time. I've been here almost 15 years, so long time.
Wow, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Time flies.
It
So we're a
does.
hometown bank, small bank, still do all those small banking things, which I love.
Well, and you said you've been there for quite some time. So tell us what you do now and how you've gotten to where you are.
Okay. Well, I started out as a loan officer. Now I'm a branch manager, but I still do mostly loans. But I definitely can do it all. I run on Taylor Row a lot, all those things. Just do what I need to do to get it done.
Well, I do notice that there's a lot of times that you've not been able to make it to luncheons and things. I think you fill in for lunchtime tellers and things like that. So I know that you have your hand in a lot of things there at the bank. So I
I
guess I
enjoy
have
that
a
part,
question.
though. I definitely enjoy that part, though.
Well, it keeps you on your toes, keeps you into everything that's going on. But I have a question. So, do you guys, everybody calls it Ball State Bank.
Hmm.
Is that good? Because I always do that, and I'm like, I need to say the whole name. But
No, we do it too. In fact, a
okay,
lot of times we refer to ourselves as VSB. So we're just like Ball State Bank,
yes,
our
yes,
emails are that way. Yeah, everything. So it's just us
okay.
shortening it up.
Sometimes you just wonder. Some people don't like their name changed, So even people, if they're, you know, uh, Jonathan, they don't like to be called John. So I just wanted to make sure because I do that quite often with Vol State Bank. So
Nope, we love it. That means you
okay,
know us personally.
that's right. That's right. So during COVID, you guys had to close the doors like all banks and everywhere had to do, but you still were essential. So you had your drive-through open.
Yeah.
So how was that? I mean, banking for community banks like yourself have been such a people organization. So you're not seeing people, you're only seeing them through the drive-through. So what was that, and how has that affected everything that's been going on? And where are you going now? What are you doing now?
Okay. Well, first off, that to me, it protected our employees,
Yes.
more than anything, and then our customers. But we were still running out side helping people if we needed to. But we did everything through the drive-through. So I don't think anybody felt anything differently. I mean, we were doing cashier's checks. I closed loans through the drive-through. So I mean, we did a lot, and I think everybody really was nervous about coming in anyway. So it really helped everybody. It was a little weird because we like to get our hugs from some of our customers and stuff. And but even now we have opened the doors back up. We're still doing everything through the drive-through as much as possible, and that's really just to protect everybody that is scared about still coming in and the virus and stuff.
Well, and there's still so much unknown about the virus. I mean,
Right.
we hear something new every day, that something is different, that's not what they thought. So
Right.
it's who even really knows at this point. But you do have to protect everyone, and um, it is all about protecting your employees and your customers both, because your employees are your family. I mean,
Exactly.
everybody there has it, just like most places. When you work together, especially as many long-term employees that you've had, it's part of being a family, and so you want to protect them and taking it home to their family as well.
Right.
So are you glad to have the lobby open again?
I am glad. I missed a lot of people, and we have those customers that still want to just come in and say hi. They probably miss the popcorn the most. We're not giving that away on Fridays right now. So
Yes.
that's probably the biggest thing that we hear right now. Where's the popcorn?
Well, I know my mom is not a drive-through person. Even CEMC, their lobby is still closed.
Oh,
And
yeah.
So she called me and she said, can I pay my bill? I said, yeah, you can go to the drive-thru. And she's like, oh, I don't like to do that. so yes, some people still don't like to do that. They like to that in person, but I think we're all going to get through it, and we're making there.
I think so too.
So, so through all of this, the federal government offered the PPP loans. So tell us a little bit about what that loan was initiated to do, and how Ball State Bank has been able to do that.
Okay. I that was a very challenging time. The government likes to put out things, and then the media was going crazy, and we didn't really know what to do yet. So that kind of put the bank at a disadvantage.
Neither did the government, because they didn't know what they were doing either. So
yes, I agree. But once we were finally up and running, they told us, we did it for our customers only, though. But we were able to help over 755 small businesses.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
That is amazing. And that is just Middle Tennessee. So that, when you think about that, I mean, those businesses were able to keep going and keep paying their employees. The reason for the loan was to just keep them off of unemployment, honestly, and keep these businesses going. They could spend 75% on payroll and then 25% for like utilities or keeping their doors open, like with the mortgages or anything like that. Now, the challenging part of that, though, is 755 loans in about a month.
So. Yes. Well, I know that through this whole process, everybody that was processing those loans were getting calls and emails, and it was hard to keep up on all that, because a lot of times you would have to then turn around and talk to Small Business Administration, which they were even harder to get a hold of. Yes. And finding out that information. So, and I guess sometimes it's kind of funny how this loan worked. My understanding, and I may not be wrong because I am not in your business, but that they gave you all the information and then they calculated how much money they were able to get through this. Is that the way that worked? So you didn't just say, I need $1,000. It was, you put the information in there and they say, oh, well, you can have this much money.
Yes, they pretty much said, what do you pay in payroll? And then they multiplied it out by 2.5% to give them that little bit of extra. And they said, you could have this. So a lot of people were able to keep going, though, for it. So I'm glad that they did that.
It is great, and it's great to see that we have had many small businesses struggling. They've been struggling through this whole time, having to close doors, not being able to operate. Some have revamped. A lot of our restaurants would do that takeout, curbside pickup, and I loved that because I didn't have to cook every night. And I had to support my businesses. So my excuse to David was, I got to support my businesses. I'm going to the 109, or we're going to Top of the Ridge, but they liked it too. So
I was going to say, and I'm glad that people did adjust to that. I'm sure it's they did the best that they could.
Yes.
So it made us happy to be one of those financial institutions, though, that were able to help people and get them through that. I think it was appreciated. Once we got through our customers, then we did open it up to non-customers at that point too. So it's been helpful.
Well, and also I feel like that knowing that it's your customers, they trust you. They have no idea. They just know that they can get some help. And in getting that help, they look to you for advice, because I mean, we can't know it all, and that's what we have you for.
Yes. And that is the frustrating part, though, I think, is because there was so much mixed information out there from the media. And then we were like, no, that's not what we could do, and then they were like, what?
Yes.
So it was definitely challenging for us, but we had a good team in place that really spent a lot of time talking to the SBA directly. And so we got right from the horse's mouth.
That's awesome. Now, also these loans that they were able to give, will they be forgiven if they're used in the proper manner?
We hope so, but that we don't know. We're told that by the end of this month, we should have procedures in place to filling out applications, because they're already changing to that again. So we don't really know what's happening, but they did tell us by the next week or so we should get direction on what to do for people. But yeah, we're hoping everybody gets forgiven.
So, and now your job's not complete. It's not
Nope.
close the loan like everything else, and then you move on to the next thing. So now you're going to have to come back and work on those again.
Yep.
So, so you have many customers here, not just in Portland. So how many locations do you guys have?
We have 11 locations.
So so all of those loans come through Ball State. The 700 were through 11 locations.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Did you work all night, many nights?
Many nights. There was probably only about 6 people, I think, that were actually sending those through to the government to get the approvals. And then each location would have one loan officer pretty much do all their loans for that branch. So yeah, it was a lot.
Oh my, yes. Well, I am glad that our businesses were able to take advantage of that and be able to do it from somebody that they trust. Because a lot of places, if you go to Bank of America or somewhere like that, I mean, you're dealing with somebody you have no clue who they are. I mean, they could be in 3 states over, when you're talking to them on the phone. So, so it is good to have local people here.
It did make it feel good.
Yes, yes. So, so also with that, you also had did you defer a lot of payments for people that were struggling? They, were laid off. They didn't have a income. So how did that work? And what will happen to those payments that they missed? How will they correct that?
Yeah. So anybody that called us saying, hey, I'm struggling. This is what's going on. I lost my job. We did 3-month deferments on everybody that called in for that. And so we would tell them that it takes it and puts it at the end of the loan. So it's not something they have to try to catch up next month or after the 3 months. So that was good too. That gave them that peace of mind for 3 months. They can figure out, their next steps. But the only thing we did tell people is that if they did that on their mortgage loans, that could affect their escrow payments. So a lot of people chose to just go ahead and still make their escrow payments monthly because they're small. Right. And then that way their escrow wouldn't go up. That's the only thing that if they didn't do that, their escrow may go up at the end of the year when it's reanalyzed again.
Yes, and they send you that statement and say, "Oh, your escrow payment was short because your taxes went up," or whatever it might be. So,
yeah, we love those, don't we?
Yes. So, so yeah, that is something that's great, and the good thing about these is putting it on the end and not having to catch up right after. I know that utilities had, they weren't doing cutoffs, so they would let that, but you've got to catch that up. It's not something that you can put back. So you're still in trouble if you don't make it up after the 3 months. So it is, I'm sure that helped many people to get through these tough times.
I think so. And then I'm seeing a lot of people, are going back to working now too. So I think it was just enough to help them to get back on their feet, and then everybody will be back to work and hopefully stay back to work. But the good thing about not being Bank of America is that people can call us and talk to us and tell us, hey, this is what's going on. And of course, we're going to work with them. We don't want their stuff back or, to hurt their credit. We want to help them.
Right. And I think that is, you understand and you're close to the situation, whereas a lot of the corporations that are further away and that they don't have that close connection. And again, they're looking at a number, it's just about doing that. So again, it's always good to do your local banking and be able to have that. Now you can go back to having that connection in person.
Yeah. Yep, I love it.
So with everything that's going on, you guys, the housing market is booming still.
Yes.
So I'm sure you're cranking out home loans now still, and how can people prepare for that? A lot of times people are either like my son. He is, 22 years old, 23 years old. 23 years old. Hope he's
I
not
do that
watching.
too.
And, he's wanting to buy a house.
Mhm.
And he has no credit. It's, you're sitting here and it's not that they have bad credit, but they've never had experience. It's kind of like banks want to see that you can pay a payment back and you can do something. So what's the best way for people to go about helping in correcting that, getting a little bit of credit?
Those are my favorite loans, to be honest. We do a lot of build your credit loans for these they're small loans for these younger people that have no credit. We don't want mom and daddy to have to co-sign for them. We want them to get them going on their own. And what we do is we will take like a savings account, stick the money in it, and then let them pay either from that or from their checking accounts or something. And then when it's all said and done, they get that money back. So instead of giving it to them up front, they get it at the behind. But they build credit. The credit world has no idea what we've done. And so they're building that credit. They're learning responsibility, how to pay payments. And my favorite thing is when they come to me a year later and say, I bought my first house. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Those are the moments that I love more than anything in banking, is when you taught that person, because they don't teach them anywhere else really how to do these things and what to do. And so those are my favorite.
So, so how long are typically the loans like that?
We can stretch them out for all the way up to 2 years if we need to. And the minimum is $1,500. And that keeps their payments around $75, $80 a month, something affordable for young children, especially, working not as much maybe, or even
Right.
for older people that don't have credit because they pay cash their whole lives.
Yes, yes. And it is funny how people do that and you don't really think anything about it. But there are many people out there that never got a loan for anything. They have really the Dave Ramsey methodology in their household because I have to save it to spend it. Well, then they don't have credit. And you're thinking, how do you not have credit?
And it happens a lot. So in those cases, we do those same type of loans. Or, if they've banked here even, say, since they were 15 years old and they opened their first account, then a lot of times we can still override and give them that loans because they built that relationship with us. So we already see things, about them and give them that chance to just get started.
So how long does it take for them to actually build some of that credit or to make a difference in their credit numbers?
I tell people always keep it for at least 6 months, 6 months to a year, but definitely 6 months. And usually they will have a really good score, or even if they had a low score, build it up in about 100 points even sometimes. So it doesn't take long, but it's just consistency of making sure they pay their payments on time and stuff.
Well, I know it's funny because I always have a credit card that I charge things on, pay off at the end of the month. Well, I didn't realize that until you leave it on there, it doesn't really get reported a lot of times. So they're not seeing that you're putting stuff on there and paying it off. So yep. I think that that was a misnomer to me. I really thought that, they'll see this, that they don't see that. So, because you're paying it off. So, but I don't want to keep it on there either.
Interest.
Yes, that's right. So, so what other programs do you guys have? Do you still have a lot of savings programs that they can get into that will help them, maybe a Christmas club, those type of things?
We don't have any of those anymore. We do a lot of what's called CASASA checking and savings. Those are our more popular accounts that will either give you cash back or earn interest on the checking accounts. So those are kind of what people are more into. We have regular savings, and the CASASA savings even will earn up to 1% interest as long as you're, earning money in their checking account, that you can earn the 1% of savings. So, I mean, that's higher the CDs are paying. CDs aren't paying hardly anything right now. So That's a great account to have.
Well, it is funny because I was going through some old photos and just a box from the attic, and in there was some savings bonds for my son. Actually, all three of my kids, evidently, when they were born, my aunt gave them a savings bond. Well, my 23-year-old son is not matured yet. It's 30. Wow. It was a 30-year savings bond, and I think it's $75. So I'm like. So we were really laughing at that and how that it at that time it seemed like oh, we're going to double the money, but 30 years later you'll double the money.
And of course kids are like, I want it now, just give me the money.
Yes. So it was funny when we pulled it out and he came home and we were like, oh, you got a savings fund, but you still have 6 years before you can.
Yeah, you're not old enough.
But yes. So what is the best way for people to put their funds into savings accounts, or how do they raise, what's the best interest rate that they're going to get from something?
Well, the absolute best interest rate for us right now is the Kasasa checking account. It's 2.25% interest.
Oh, yeah. Up
to $15,000. So that's a huge amount of money when CDs are paying 0.0 something, or 0.89, not even 1%. So that's the best thing. And all we want people to do with those accounts is have direct deposit or a direct withdrawal. That's easy. I mean, that's super easy. The other thing we want people to do is use their debit card at least 11, 12 times a month. I do that in a weekend, so that's fine.
Yes, and as long as you don't require anybody to write checks, because nobody does that anymore.
Right, and we don't. And then the other thing is to get your bank statements online, which that's great anyway. If you think about it, if your bank statement still comes to you in the mail, that has your signature, your address, your bank account. I mean, that is just a lot of information for somebody to steal from you right there.
Yes.
So with it being online, you log in and you initiate it, you view it. It's not like we email it to you and then it gets lost or scammed that way either. So it's super safe and convenient. I don't even hardly look at my bank statements. I know what's on there. I use that little app all the time.
Yes, the apps are so awesome because you can just kind of keep up with what's going on. You can also I get alerts when my husband spends money. So
yeah, me too.
The only thing is he gets one when I spend money too.
So. Oh, mine don't, so we're good.
I didn't know he did till I happened to be sitting next to him and both of our phones went off when we bought something.
Oh, that's bad.
I was like, okay. But so anything else that you want us to know about opportunities that Volunteer State Bank might have for people and customers, new customers?
We just want to bring everybody in. We love the new customers. We love our old customers. We love small town banking. That I say that all the time. Like, those are my favorite. Just, I love dealing with people and getting to know them, knowing who their children are and their husbands, and talking about their weekends. And I mean, it's a community. It's a sense of community. We got a lot of good products. We got a lot of good people. So I think people need to just come on by. That's it.
That's right. I do think that just coming by to see what you have. It is funny how banking has changed.
It has changed
drastically. No more sign up for a checking account and get a set of dishes, or do you remember when they used to do that?
Give you a hat. Yes. Which I still might give you something, but it definitely has changed. I've been in banking over 20 years. I won't tell you exact how long because that would give away ages, but over 20 years. And I remember even just the loan side, you used to sign one paper and now you got to sign 20 papers. And a lot of people used to come in the banks, and now there's a lot of the mobile banking and stuff now. So definitely has changed.
Well, and you have to work with both sides of that, because some people love the online banking and everything electronic. I love how I can pay all my bills and I don't have to really write a check. I don't have to really do anything. My mother, and she can't stand that. She would
Yep.
if she wants to buy something online, I have to buy it and she pays me back, because she
Yep.
doesn't like to put those cards on the computer. It's going to take everything away from her, but. Um, so she's probably gonna kill me because she's probably watching this.
Yeah, you're talking about her. She's gonna be mad.
Yes, but some people just they're not they don't like it, they don't trust it, and so they choose not to do that. So
And that's okay too. We want both of those aspects because it it kind of still brings the people in though, really. Those are the people that are still coming in all the time.
well, and we do appreciate Volunteer State Bank. You guys support the community, support everything that goes on here, and we love that. Hopefully, in July we'll have our Music on Main, and
That will be great.
yes, and hopefully you guys will be able to be there, and like always. But these are different times, so hopefully that's kind of our next event that we have going on.
I hope so. I do miss the getting together. I really missed having Strawberry Festival. So definitely looking forward for better times.
Yes, me too, and then just a little bit more certainty. So
Yeah.
again, we do appreciate everything that you guys do and being here in the community. If anybody is interested, you can give Amanda a call out at Volunteer State Bank. She will be able to help you with any of your loans, open up accounts. She'll be able to take care of you. If you're a business and need something that you want to start your business account that way, you're a small business. Starting those small businesses are hard. So that a lot of times they can open up a new account with you to get that business going, and you can kind of guide them through that too, because it's not like opening up your regular checking account and running all your bills through there. It just operates. You got to operate a little bit differently.
Yep, a little bit different.
So, but well, do you have anything else you want to share with us?
Nope, this was fun. Thanks, Sherry.
Well, thank you, and I hope that you have a great weekend tomorrow. Come out to the farmers market, because
All right, I'll do it.
that'll be out there tomorrow. We'll have that going on, and then we'll hear from Sally at the Portland Public Library tomorrow.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Sherry. Bye.